how's everybody doing? This is Beth from Blissful-Transformation, and we are doing a tea and tarot energy update, I would think. Although I pulled two cards this morning, well, two fell out when I did my daily reading this morning for the weekend, for the energies for the weekend. And funnily enough, I thought I'd picked up the tarot deck, the fairy tarot deck. And in fact, I'd picked up the Akashic deck. So this morning's cards were from the Akashic records. And I've actually just pulled another two cards now for the start of this reading. So I'm just wondering how everybody's doing with the February energies and everything we talked about on Monday's video. With Mercury Retrograde, obviously that's leaving us today. Yay! And tomorrow it goes, Mercury goes direct into Aquarius, which is funny because we are in the age of Aquarius now. So before I do start doing any of the energy updates, I pulled another two cards for us from the Akashic deck. And again, I got two cards. This morning's cards were the One of Scrolls, which was about staying on track. And the second card that came out was Add Some. So it was about leaving on the train, making the decision and getting on the train to go in that direction that you've already made, the decision you've already made. And then Add Some was about, I believe. Add Some, I am here. Add Some, I'm ready. And Add Some is one of those words that you can use to reaffirm statements, positive statements, yes. Anyway, you can go and read that on my tarot cards that I pulled this morning. So what have I pulled now for us? I've pulled the Four of Scrolls, which is the Karmic trench. Very, very pertinent to what I want to talk about today, which is funny, because when I did my little meditation, I said, what am I going to talk about today? And I got the Four of Scrolls, which is Karmic trench, and I also got the Seven of Forces, which is balance. And I think this is great going forward, for the energies going forward into this weekend, especially with Mercury going direct. So the Karmic trench. So at the moment, the Karmic trench is all about patterns. Yes, and I know many light workers, we're talking about, we're here to clear ancestry lines, issues with clearing ancestry history. So it's not just our own karma that we're trying to clear, it's clearing it for the ancestors, yes. And this is what this is all about. You see the rose here, you can see in the card, you can see, look, you see he's here, but he's planted all of this, or this is all going into the back. All of this is the past. These are all these lines are all to do with ancestry clearance, right? So the card, the book itself, the guidebook, it says it means that you've returned to this life with the intention of breaking karmic patterns. But sometimes you get pulled into the old thoughts and behaviors, yes, and you end up digging yourself deeper into karma, and it's not easy. It's not easy to clear your own karma, let alone ancestry karma, but whatever you clear for yourself, you are actually clearing that for the ancestors as well. So don't dig too deep and don't think too deeply into all of that and why. Oh my gosh, I've got to clear I'm here to clear all the ancestry stuff because I've been there, and I've had that moment to myself where I've said, oh gosh, I've got to clear everything, because whatever you're trying to clear, that is exactly what the what they want you to clear. It's for them as well, so it's for everybody, right? It's just it's a knock-on effect for everybody. So some of the patterns are unknown to you, but you'll recognize these patterns in relationships, jobs, and certainly in beliefs. So the theta healing that I do actually shifts some bottom beliefs. You might think on the surface that it's this belief, but actually when you start digging deeper, you'll find that it's something completely different, and it could be from when you were a child. It could go into previous lives. So if you're wanting to clear some karma, I'm not here to sell you any products. This is just an energy update, but I'm just saying to you, theta healing is amazing. It's an amazing healing modality for clearing bottom beliefs. I do it. There are a number of other people that work as theta healers, and it's just, I've had some amazing shifts in my beliefs from doing theta healing. So just to let you know, that would help to get to your bottom beliefs. So it's time to take charge of your karma by altering your inner feelings, ideas, and patterns that cause you to make self-sabotaging choices, right? Sometimes, again, I talked about on Monday about the path of least resistance. Sometimes we keep going with the thing that we know instead of change. And sometimes if we just go with the flow, the energy saying no, and you've got to, the universe makes you change and makes you go into a different direction. So yeah, so the karmic trench is all about clearing karmic patterns. And then the second one was balance, which is the Seven of Forces. Now, before we even look at this, at the book, what it tells us about the Seven of Forces, I can tell you already, the balance. We talked about this again on Monday between the light workers and the shadow work that needs to happen. So if you look at this card, you'll see that there's a desk. This room is quite dark, but there is light. The door is open and there's a window of beautiful light. So that's what we've got to keep going for while we're working on the shadow work, and that's the balance. But we've got to remember that, it is a balance. Never forget that light is there at the end of the tunnel for you, or not even at the end of the tunnel. It's just right there across the room, right? But if you're working, just hold it to your highest good, but you've got to work on negative beliefs, negative patterns, and the shadow side of oneself. Now, the book actually talks about the fact that with this picture, people would think that this was like the justice card. You've got legal papers and documents on the table, and that is definitely true when you're talking about some things to do with the human side of us that wants to clear things that are very easy to see, tangible things, yes, that we can change. But when we look at the Akashic records, we're going up to the sixth dimension, and when we're talking about the Akashic, they're very truthful. It's also very I'll read what it says, because it says justice is a balance in society. But the Akashic records show that justice is not limited strictly to the courts and the contracts, and there's those types of situations, legal situations. Justice and reciprocity are energetic. So the energy you put forth now will return to you in the future. So you remember that your energy production is up to you. So it's the balance. So you've got to remember that you're working here. You're working here on your shadow self, but you're doing it for your highest good. You're doing it for the highest good of the collective consciousness. You're doing it for your ancestors. And you've always got that light. Don't forget that it's for your highest good, right? The light and the shadow. So while you're working in the shadow, don't forget about the light. And it just says, consider to be aware of your thoughts and actions. Inner balance now leads to a beautiful destiny tomorrow. It's kind of perfect, really, because when you're working on things, things of this nature, you've got to remember how the energy is in the universe. And with the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction that we had, Jupiter magnifies everything. So, it's the learning and the growth. Saturn's all about the hard work. So here you are in the office, right, sitting there doing all of the hard work, and all of the shadow work. But don't forget the light, and don't forget Jupiter, because it magnifies everything it touches. So whatever you're working on right now is going to magnify. Okay, it's going to you'll clear the energy, and you'll make way for the new energy to come in, and the light, and that's why the doors open and the windows, they're full of light for you. Yes. So I thought that was pretty interesting to pull those cards today for this tea and tarot. I don't have my cup of tea today because I was doing a session with somebody, and I was just looking at my notes before I started this, and I didn't have much time, and I didn't make myself a cup of tea. So, but that's okay. It's the afternoon now, so I'll stick to my water. So remember, if you want to ask me any questions while we're on this video, you want me to pull a card for you, we can do that, and we can do the Rider-Waite, the regular tarot, or I can pull an oracle card for you. Okay, so never be afraid to ask me for that. Okay, so where are we at the moment with the energy? Well, we're in this Aquarian energy right now, and also we've got Mercury going direct in Aquarius tomorrow. So what who are Aquarians? What are they all about? Okay, people say the most intellectual sign of the zodiac. They are visionaries, quite eccentric. Aquarians, right? That energy that they have is quite eccentric. I remember a friend of mine, I have a few Aquarians in my life, funnily enough, and they're all very different, but they're all very quite sure of themselves, and their wardrobe sense is very eclectic, right? They've got this amazing eclectic and eccentric. They've got this kind of difference about their appearance, right? They are the people that think into the future. Aquarians are all about this vision into the future. They're very science-minded, which leads to, with the age of Aquarius, this leads to more IT advancements. So IT, internet, information technology. So we'll be going more now into this, into the age of Aquarius, into this information technology advancements, and it's certainly started to happen right now. I mean, we're certainly being forced into this, using IT more, and making new visions and new plans for our future businesses, especially if they've been. You're working with people directly, the touch, the feel, the aesthetics of it. Now we're having to sort of readjust and take that, have new visions for our business and take our businesses online. So that's all about Aquarius. That's what they are about, yes. They are also an air sign. So air signs especially in the tarot deck, where you've got the different suits, you've got the cups and the pentacles and the swords and the wands. Air signs are swords, and sword signs are a lot of mental processing. So again, this will come with very good with science-minded and IT, information technology stuff, because they're very analytical and they like to look at data and things like that. But that's not a bad thing. So don't think that that's a bad thing, because they've also got a lot of other qualities. As I said, they're eccentric, they're very free-spirited as well, Aquarians. More likely to have unconventional relationships, not ones to pin down very easily, right? More likely to be, to have one or two relationships, one or two other people involved at the same time, or maybe not all monogamous, right? Maybe a bit of polyamory going on there. If you don't know what that is, then polygamous relationships, more than one in a relationship, yeah. Aquarians are all about that as well. So it's all about going with the flow and how they feel. They're not rigid, they're not stuck. Air is moving, it flows, right? And that's very much like Aquarian energy. The other thing that we have to take into consideration at this point is the Chinese New Year. So the Chinese New Year started on the February the 12th, and every year it goes into a new sign, and these are the animal spirits. So this would go from February the 12th and it would finish January the 30th in 2022. So we've got a whole year of this energy. And at the moment, the Chinese New Year is the time of the metal ox. Hi Patrick, nice to see you. So the Chinese New Year. So we've got similar to the horoscopes. The Chinese New Year has 12 zodiac animals that it follows. So we start with the rat. Then we have the ox. So that's what we're in right now. So we've just come out of the year of the rat last year. We're just going into the ox. We have next the tiger, the rabbit, the dragon, the snake, the horse, the sheep, the monkey, the rooster, the dog, and the pig. Okay, so those are the 12 animal signs. And they all have their own energies. And it's all to do with not necessarily your birthday, but definitely the year that you were born in. They change, okay? So, for example, I know that I am a Chinese sign, year of the dog. I'm very loyal, I'm very honest, I'm also very playful. So it's a little different to when you're looking at your horoscopes and you're looking at the sun signs. So what is the time of the metal ox? What is the ox? Well, you've got the metal element, okay? But the ox is all about the earth and agriculture. They're hard-working animals, right? They're honest. They're steadfast. But, they always work on the land and they're in the land. The ox is all about ploughing and regenerating. They used to use them in the old days, the oxen plough. They used to have to, turn over the soil for planting new seeds. That's where they would use the ox to pull the wagon that had to pull the rotator, which was manual, and it's just too heavy to pull, so they had the ox to pull that. So you can see that this year we're going into this age of Aquarius with an ox, with this steadfast animal that likes to work with Mother Nature, that's very earthly and grounded, is hardworking. So what can we say about this upcoming year? Well, you're going to work hard, whatever project that you're working on. I would think a lot of people are going to be moving away from cities, moving into more rural areas where they have a chance to be out in nature. It's something I've talked about before, something that we've forgotten in this spiritual transitionary stage that we've all been going through since it started last year. And it's all going into this getting back to nature, and this is the bit that we're missing from ourselves. And so the ox is going to help us this year, along with this, Aquarian energy of, go with the flow, and, using technology. For example, if we live in a rural area but we're working online, we've got the chance then to finish when we're online and go outside and go for a walk in nature. Not very easy if you live in a city, a lot easier if you live in a rural place. So I feel a lot of people are buying up properties in rural areas excuse me, and moving to that, moving away from the mass populace, right, into getting back to nature, and less people around, more animals, back into Mother Nature. And also nature is also a great place to regenerate, especially if you're working in something like a healing modalities, divination tools. You're working with Reiki or Theta, or you're a tarot reader. It pulls a lot of you're meditating and you're pulling a lot of energy from yourself. So to regenerate is to get back into Mother Nature. Okay, so that's amazing. Then we had the big Jupiter and Saturn conjunction in December 21st. That was the big one. It would look like the Star of Bethlehem. It was absolutely phenomenal if you got to see it. And what does that mean? Okay, well, it's the first sentence in a new chapter of Aquarian energy. So we're just writing our own book now, right? We're on the first page. We're writing the first sentence. That's where it would have started, yes, this great Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. But Saturn is quite stabilizing. Saturn, again, is about, like the ox, hard working. But Saturn also has these rules and boundaries. So it's hard working. You've got to do this. You must do this. You must do this. You must do this. But if you find your niche and you find what you love to do, then the hard work doesn't have to seem like so much hard work. But whatever you're going to put your energies into with that, determination and grit, hard work, going for it, Jupiter is going to magnify everything that it touches. So, it's learning. It's learning and growth. So Jupiter is all about, learning and magnifying that. So you're just learning more and you're getting better and you're becoming an expertise and you're becoming a master, yes? These two planets coming together, we're working towards a better planet. The majority of us realistically want a better planet, a better way of thinking, better way of doing things, less materialism, not necessarily spiritual, but just spiritual can mean also kinder to people. Just be kind, right? Saying please and thank you doesn't cost anything. Smiling at somebody doesn't cost anything, right? It's just these little niceties of, so, I think, what is it, New York and London, Londoners think that New Yorkers are rude. New York thinks that Londoners are rude because in these major cities, we just have these like blinkers on, like we're just like horses with like these blinkers on so that we can't see what's going on around us. We've just got these blinkers and we're just going to work, and then we're going home, and then we're going to the supermarket, and then we can't wait to have a drink when we get home because we're so stressed from everything that's been going on. Right? All this, I've got to have this, and I want to have this, and I've got to earn more money, and I've got to have... we're moving away from all of that energy, right? We're moving into this, let's make a better planet. What's going to make you happy, right? What makes you happy? How can I make that better for you, right? And that's the energy that we're moving towards, is out of service to self. I want, and more into service of others, which is, how can I make this planet better? How can I make people smile? I just want happy people. And I mean, you can't be happy all the time, but, majority of the time, how can I make that life a little easier for you? Make it, smoother. No one wants a difficult life. No one wants to go down that road. No one wants to work for an evil boss. No one wants to, keep digging themselves out of a debt with the bank and all the rest of it. We want to move into this, what can I learn to help other people? What can I learn as myself, as an individual, that will enable me to help other people? We're putting in the work. We will reap the benefits, and we're trading. This is where it comes from, this getting away from the materialistic, more towards working towards with others and the planet. We're trading me for we, right? So we want to work together with people in communities. I see people coming together all the time on these social networks. I see these communities springing up all over the place. Excuse me. And I just think it's wonderful, right? So we're coming away from this heavy me energy where it's me, myself, and I, and we're getting more into the we energy of let's work on this together, yes? Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about with the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction is there are some things that that have been happening and we were expecting to happen with this Jupiter and Saturn conjunction and this new energy. So I've already talked about the rays, the cosmic rays that are coming from probably a galactic source. We're having energies that are helping us right now. Whatever you believe, we are definitely having these rays, energetic rays, which you can't see with the naked eye, but you can definitely feel in your body, right? And it's all to upgrade your DNA, it's to upgrade your mind, it's to help you to remember, it's to make you, people are awakening very fast. They're like, starting to question things, starting to react. Talked about it a little bit on Monday. So this is how they're helping. Now, the other thing is that these rays can be measured by scientists. I don't know whether you know about the Schumann Resonance. So the Schumann Resonance I talk about on my website, and it's under the banner of frequencies. Now, frequencies are hertz, Hertz. So the hertz is a derived unit of frequency that was named after Heinrich Rudolf Hertz. I'm just reading this from my website, yes. And he was the first person to provide conclusive proof of the existence of electromagnetic waves. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying that we're having these rays downloads coming onto the planet right now. Now, the Schumann frequency is the base of it. The base of this electromagnetic resonance frequency is 7.83 hertz. So this means that our atmosphere is continually resonating with a radio frequency of 7.83 hertz. Okay. Now, let's just if we're out of alignment with that frequency, if our body is out of alignment with that frequency, you feel out of sorts, you feel out of balance, and you feel affected. You just don't feel right. Yes, you've disconnected from the planet, right? You know, it can. I mean, this discomfort can range from anxiety, insomnia, illness, and a suppressed immune system. So it's really, really good. Do you remember I pulled those 2 cards at the beginning of this energy update reading from the Akashic deck, and one of them, the second one I pulled, was balance. So it's all about balance. If you don't, you know, you can't go off one way or the other way. Work on your shadow self, work on karma, but don't forget about the light, because if you stay too much in the shadow, and we've got a tendency right now with everything that's going on to stay in those negative beliefs, and that can hurt your body. It can seriously damage your body. So if you stay if you come out of alignment with the Schumann Resonance, your body, your immune system's going to start to go, right? You're going to start to feel tired. You're not going to be able to sleep. You're going to be ill from no reason. You're going to have anxiety. Trust me, I've been there. I've had this, and probably will have again, right? But it's always good to recognize these. Yes. I think that's Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Okay, so talking about the 7.3 Schumann Resonance. So we know about that. Now you can understand how with sound healing, how they use different hertz, different scales, and you can use different scales for the different chakras. You can also listen to music. You know how music makes you feel? It's the different hertz that it's played at, okay? So for example, the root chakra, which is red, is at 396 hertz. Yeah, so it's a higher sound, yes? But it's not as high as the crown chakra, which is at 963 hertz. So you imagine that the balance of the earth is 7.83. Yes, and the music you hear is a higher vibration, it's a higher electromagnetic sound frequency, yes? So if you look on my website and go into frequencies, so that's blissful-transformation.com, and just look under the banner of frequencies, and you can read all about that, the Schumann frequency. Now, why is that important with what I was just talking about? It's important because I was talking about the rays of light that are coming to planet Earth right now to help us and to upgrade us. And if our planet is on 7.83 and we are at 7.83, the rays that have been measured coming in are, I believe, 40 hertz. Okay, so the most powerful, unstoppable stream in the history of light range of 40 hertz will come through the skies and flow freely across the planet. So we're upgrading ourselves and we're upgrading the planet right now. This is what's happening. And this is what they're talking about with the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, and the rays that are coming in that we can't see with our human eyes, but we feel the energy updates. Remember last session I did on Monday, I talked about, you can feel it ringing in your ears, or you can suddenly feel dizzy, or you you can just feel it. I get headaches, ringing in my ears, and I've learned to just stop and breathe it in. It doesn't last very long, maybe anywhere between 5 to 15 seconds max. But however long it lasts, I've just learned to just go with it. Okay, just breathe it in, just stop whatever you're doing If you're driving, I suggest you pull over, right? You don't want to be closing your eyes and breathing it in while you're on a moped or in a car or, motorbike, whatever it is, right? You don't want to be doing any of that. So just step back or, pull off to the side of the road, or if you're in the kitchen or you're doing anything, just take a minute just to stop and breathe it in. Okay, so what else is going on with these this Jupiter and Saturn conjunction? Okay, so we've got we've talked about the light. So at the moment I'm reading this from spiritualascension.com to get some information, because I'm not an astrologer, so I need to pull some information, right? So we're looking at some of these things some of these issues and things that come up with the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction. We already talked about the Aquarian energy, talked about Saturn being a hard worker, Jupiter, which magnifies everything. It's a time of learning and growth. We're working towards a better planet. We're working together. We're putting in the work to reap the benefits, and we're finally moving away from me, and we're moving into a we theory. Right, in practice, instead of me, we're moving into the we, which is lovely. Okay. The last thing I wanted to talk about today was, when I talk about being a light worker, what am I talking about? What do you mean you're a light worker, Beth? What on earth is that? Okay, we've also heard the term starseed. What's a starseed? Okay, so I just want to give you some information on light workers, earth angels, and starseeds. So a light worker is essentially a person who has incarnated as a human, yes. It's a soul that is a soul that's reincarnated as a human, but they anchor to the higher dimensional light of spirit. So, how to say that in layman's terms? They are here to bring us out of darkness and into greater levels of light, with connection, more harmony, more peace. Okay. So light workers are very much here on that mission. They're here, they've incarnated now, because we're going through this, we're going into the age of Aquarius, and we're seeing these massive changes on Earth. We've seen a lot of Mother Nature kicking back with hurricanes and tornadoes, tsunamis all over the world, right, for the last 5 years, 10 years. And this is Mother Nature's kicking back and saying no more, right? So we're just moving into a time of being able to finally helping the Earth. This COVID pandemic has shut down most of the planet. We've seen already how Mother Nature has reacted, how majestic that's been for everybody to see, right? In China with the factories, where the sky is clear for the first time in many years, and they can actually see blue sky. We've seen how the Venice, the canals in Venice have now got fish in them. The water's clean. You see, we've polluted this planet up to a degree, and now it's time to say no more, right? So light workers are here to take us into the greater levels of light. So if you need help processing all of these rays of light right now, I would suggest finding a mentor, finding somebody that you can reach out to, that can help you to deal with these rays of lights. If that's me, that's great. Again, I'm not here to sell myself. If you'd like to contact me, that's perfect. I can help you with this transition. As a light worker, maybe maybe I'm not just a light worker. We'll see, right? But I am here. Or there are many people right now that have incarnated on this planet for this reason, that are spiritually enlightened, that can connect you to your higher self, that can help you with this major transitions that we're seeing on Earth right now. Okay, so that's light workers. So what's next? Next is earth angels. So what's an earth angel? So earth angels are aware of and they are connected with their higher self. If you are an earth angel, this means that one of your higher selves is an angelic being. And so when you ascend, you raise your vibration and you bring in the light and awareness to your higher self. So a true earth angel is someone who is living as an angel now. And it's basically a light worker. So an earth angel is basically a light worker who is interested in connecting with the angelic realm. So how did I first start and realize that I was here for the highest good of myself and the highest good of humanity? Is because I started working with the angel realm. I started I've been speaking to the spirits of my ancestors for many years, since I was about 4 years of age. But as I said, it's not something, we've been going through this. If you talk to people of my age in their, their 40s and their 50s, even their 60s, we've been going through this we've been waiting for this time on our planet for years. We've been preparing, and now we're all trying to, to bring it together so that we can be here to help people as we ascend into this newness, into, what's going on, what's happening with the world. The planet is going crazy, what's going on, and we're here to kind of ground you a little and stabilize, be here as a stabilizer, and say it's okay, let's go with it. What's happening here and here and here, and this is the way we can go. Yes. So basically an earth angel is somebody who is essentially a light worker but interested in connecting with the angels. So I started working with the angels, and so I am light worker and earth angel, little bit of both, because I do like to, the theta healing is dealing directly with the creator. Who is on the seventh dimension, and the angels we're on the third dimension, and the angels are all going from the fourth, which is your spirit guides, to the fifth, to the sixth, ascended masters. There are still there archangels, right? Ascended masters are archangels, yes. Jesus, Buddha, Archangel Michael, Gabriel, all of the ones that you've heard about, they're on the sixth plane. So I've been working with these angels, and now I'm sort of moving. I'm still working with my angels and they're still guiding me. But it's a shift into the higher dimensions as a light worker. Okay? If that makes any sense. I hope so. If you've got any questions, please ask. And then we've got star seeds. So star seeds are people that feel that they've never felt right in their own body. And I don't mean that as in a transsexual way, because that's a completely different thing. Yes, they feel that they're a woman trapped in a man's body, or vice versa, or they're non-binary, or no. This is a spiritual feeling, of feeling that you belong, that you've come from the galactics. Maybe you love stargazing, you love anything to do with the Palladians, Andromeda, any of the star being races. You're attracted to that, and you feel a longing for it. It's a feeling there, so you feel that there's something more, that's really is home for you. So that's really what the star seed is. And a star seed can also, they can be connected with earth angels, light workers. I feel a little myself. I don't feel that strong connection that I'm a starseed, but then maybe I did years ago. Maybe I did feel like I was a starseed, and then I've worked towards becoming an earth angel and then a light worker, and it's been a progression. I feel like it's been a progression in my life, and I guess everybody's story is different, right? So I'm just trying to clarify the differences, because when you say, oh, you're a light worker, or you'll read something in a magazine, or you'll see something online and you'll say, oh, light worker, what's that? Okay, and it's just somebody that is here to help us, to help the planet push forward now, push through the boundaries, and support you, moving and to help the planet and humanity with moving away from this material me, myself and I, right? And into the we. Let's work together. How can I help you? How can I help you smile every day? How can I help you with working with the light and the shadow work? How can I help those deep-seated beliefs that have been there, that are either there from this life or from previous lives? How can we help you? The collective we. It's not all about me, it's about we. So the light workers are sort of coming together. I've connected with so many people in the last 12 months. Unbelievable how many of us are out there, and we're all trying at the moment to connect, right? To connect and to be an inspiration, and to be there to help guide humanity when it so desperately needs it right now. Yes, there's a lot of people that are lost, fearful. It's understandable. The old world is breaking down. I mean, that's exactly what's happening right now. And I don't know about you. I'm a little bit like, yay. Secretly, because it's all breaking down, and we needed something. We need this. You can't make an omelette without breaking an egg, right? It's the same. You to get to where we're going, we've got to have some things, lots of things that are going to change, and it's not all going to happen overnight. This great awakening and all this is not going to happen in 1 year, right? We're talking about. I think this is going to go on till about 2030. Okay, all of these changes, all of this. God, I look like a bloody puppy at the moment. What's going on with my hair? Sorry. So it's all about, slowly moving and working, and more people will come together, and more communities, as I said already, people moving out of the cities, moving into quieter areas, moving back to Mother Nature, building communities. We already see now there's a plethora of them across the planet, people that are starting to make these. I'll be one of them. Okay, so and that came to me last year, so I worked on all of that last year about moving to Italy. It came to me in a vision. I do believe I'm meant to make a community. My property, my house comes with land, so there's going to be self-sustainability. There's going to be it's going to be clean. There's going to be water from the well. There's a well on the property. I'm not sure if it's drinking water. I'll have to test, but for sure I can use it on the property for many other different things. Yes, it's natural water from the ground, right? Which is beautiful. So you see all of these changes, and it's not going. As I said, they're not going to happen immediately. This is going to be a future, going forward, step by step, building. Build it and they will come. I think that was in. I've had that expression come to me a number of times. I think it's from Wayne's World. Remember Wayne's World? Wayne's World! Party on, Garth. And they had to build that stadium in one of them, right? And they said, oh, nobody's going to come and play. And then they did, and the spirit said to them, build it and they will come, right? And that's the message I keep getting about me. So so we'll just have to see, right? But little by little, I should go over there and start building it. But I see many other people doing the same thing, which is lovely. So we're all trying to get back to this, this community feel, and back to Gaia, back to Mother Nature. Okay, so that's everything. I think I've talked about, the tarot, the Akashic Record Tarot. We talked a little bit about the Aquarian energy. We've talked about the Chinese New Year, which is the year of the metal ox. We talked about the Jupiter and Saturn conjunctions, and I've also talked about light workers and earth angels and starseeds and the difference. So I think round about now, it's 5:55. Oh, I love that. I love to see my numerology numbers, yes. Love it. Okay, so 5:55, perfect time. So, Patrick, you wanted me to pull a card for you. I know that. Do you want to have the regular Rider-Waite deck? Or would you like me to pull an oracle card? Okay, so the regular Rider-Waite deck, which follows the suits and the major arcana and the minor arcana. Or would you like me to pull you another oracle card from the Akashic Records? Yes? Okay, let's do that one. That's the one I'm feeling, because that's the one I pulled this morning. And it's the one I started the session with today. So let's just do that. Let's pull a card. Let's take out that one. Here's the two I pulled earlier. The Four of Scrolls and the Seven of Forces. That's what I pulled earlier at the start of the session. And this was the Karmic Trench. So we're all working through our karma right now. And it's going back ancestries. So we're dealing with a lot of karma from previous, our ancestors. That they're going, yeah, clear that karmic stuff, please. And then you've got the balance. And it's all about the shadow work that we need to do and the light, holding on to the light. But working on those negative beliefs, but doing it for your highest good, yeah? So stand in the shadow and stand in that darkness, stand in that negative belief, stand in that, I feel sorry for myself, I feel like a victim. Stand in that and ask yourself why. What's going on? What's going on with me right now, yeah? So work on that. It's something that, trust me, we're all working on. All of us. And it ain't easy. It ain't easy, no. But it's good to realise that, without the night, after the night time comes the daytime. After the daytime, after the daylight and the sunny day. I'm not sure that's not so poignant for the UK, is it? You don't really see much sunshine over the winter months, but we are actually coming now out of the winter months, and we're going into spring, so that's really good. But yes, the light and the dark, the shadow and the light, the negative and the positive. There's always dualities, right? There's always duality, and it's something that we all have to work on. Okay, so let me see. Let me pull a card for us. Oh, that one's stuck. Let's see. Oh, right. So we've got Eight of Forces, which is the lightning bolt. I've pulled that one before. It's a beautiful card. Look. And remember I was talking about all the energies coming from the sky right now, coming onto planet Earth, yes? And it split the tree in the middle. So that's also the duality that I was just talking about. Yes, the positive and the negative, the shadow and the light that we need to work on. Let's see it's interesting. I shouldn't be surprised that card came out. Let me just see what the guidebook says about this card. See if I can add anything else. I mean, it's just so beautiful, isn't it? I mean, look, there's all the shadow, right? And there's all the light. Oh, lovely. Okay, so the lightning bolt. It illuminates a stormy night sky, striking a tree down to its core. This shows that it's a time, this card shows that it's a time of splitting apart, a time of duality. Yes, the time of, so you could be losing things across the planet right now. We're losing things. We're losing careers, jobs, apartments. You know, there's a lot of feeling of loss on the planet, isn't there? But again, it's always trying to stay in that light and understand that we have that help coming down from the skies, coming down from the heavens. We've got that help. We just have to be accepting of it, yes? So at first glance, this event may seem like unexpected, yes? Let me just read all of it. It may seem that it's unexpected, but in the light that flashes, we see the deep puddles of a storm that has been going on for some time. You've probably been aware of the threat or difficulty at some level, even if you were unwilling to acknowledge it before. Now is the time to accept the situation and not fight it, right? So this is where you work on your shadow self. You work on those negative beliefs, yes? Very difficult. The collective consciousness is all in fear right now. Everyone across the world, across the planet is in fear and sad and not knowing, confused, not what's going on. But all you can do is just work on you, right? Whatever you work on you, whatever you make better for yourself, believe me, has a knock-on effect for the collective consciousness. It has a knock-on effect for the planet. And the more of us that do it, and the more of us that work through our issues and our deep-seated beliefs and our fears, and we work towards the light, the more it helps the planet. Okay? So, the Akashic force. Imagine a lightning bolt striking nearby, leaving some destruction in its wake. Now close your eyes and with a deep breath, feel the energy of lightning stir within you. It's almost as if the finger of God is yours to employ. How do you want to direct this energy in your life? How lovely. Okay, so it's very pertinent, yes? It's very pertinent. It's all about... sorry, I'm just taking off the reminders on my phone. It's all about working with those beliefs, finding out what they are. If you need help, that's great. Sorry, 1 second. I'm having a session. No. Let's do a mentor. No. Apologies for that. It's one of my neighbours trying to get my attention. So I shall end now. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope it was informative. That you enjoyed it. And please like and share. And if you want any help from me. If you want a reading or you would like a theta session with me, don't hesitate to contact me on the WhatsApp number, the business WhatsApp number, or look on my website and you can book it through there. Okay? Thank you so much. This is Beth signing out from Blissful Transformation. Love you. Namaste.